Alright, so check it out. This is Wayne with Tri-County Locksmith Service, and we're going to be checking out an old, used-up razor and a brand new razor blade. And we're going to show some sharpening and some different ways to go about this. Now, just for fun here, I'm going to get that just like so. And we're going to start hanging this weight on here until it breaks. And we'll see where it's at right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry, those are half, so now it's 7 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 10, 8 and a half, and there we go. So you got about 10 and a half ounces. Maybe we moved that or disturbed it or whatever, but that's pretty dull. So let's get that cord right here. I'm going to do 10 and a half ounces on that. Pen. Are dull was 10.5 ounces. So let's see what a brand new one is. This is a brand new razor right out of the box, and you can check that edge out right there. And we'll see what this one is, and we'll see if we can get that other blade pretty close. That's a half. We got 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half, 5 and a half. Let's see here. 6. So our control would be new RZR will be 6. So let's see if we can get this at least back to factory and then get this even sharper than it probably already is. I think we can do it here. So I'll put this into place. Okay, so I'm going to be using the just plain old sandpaper to get these results. Where's my other block? There it is. And we're just going to start out with a 320 grit right here. And we're just going to start into this thing. Trying to get the gunk cleared off of it. Trying to get the old pits and scars and everything out of this. And we're just redefining that secondary edge. Skip to the 600. This is just regular standard sandpaper you can buy in any old hardware store, and we can see that secondary edge really starting to take shape and take place. And we got the 1200. And let's go ahead and go on to the polish. We got the 2000 grit. This is about as fine as I could find. It has this 2000 grit paper, so that's what we'll kind of end up with. Let's just put a nice polish on it. The carbide, the silicon carbide, really makes a nice abrasive. This is Sharpen a ton of knives. This is Sharpen, 5 or 6 other knives as well, and it still works just fine. Just takes a little soap and water, cleans it up. It's all waterproof paper. So let's check this thing out. Let's see if we made an improvement. I'm sure we did. Okay, so we get a string. Get that back on there. And we got one. Oops. 2. 3. And I'm going to start going in halves. 3.5. 3.5. So we went from 10.5 to 3.5 with sandpaper, just ordinary, average, everyday sandpaper. And now that is sharper than the brand new razor by half. That's an awesome deal right there. Now we can see, let's take a look at this edge again. Let's take a look at some of the things we're trying to look at here. The point of this was to put this secondary bevel on here. And that secondary bevel is what I've been talking about with all the other knife sharpening techniques, is getting that secondary bevel on both sides, and that's all we need to work on. That's all we need to do to get rid of those chips and pits, and that's all we need to do to give that a nice strong edge, but to give it a sharp edge as well for what we're trying to do right now. Now notice, even on this brand new razor, this particular brand does not have that secondary bevel. So this is a brand new razor right out of the box that does not have that secondary bevel, but we're going to put it on right now. We're going to check this out here, see if we can sharpen this brand new razor even sharper than it already is. And this is brand new out of the box for your utility knife. So this thing is sharp to begin with. Again, we're just going to use the same old sandpaper, just something super, super easy. Super cheap, $5 for 5 sheets of this stuff. Super cheap. You can buy everything, all different grits, for about $20 and have more sandpaper than you'll probably use for sharpening knives for years. This is actually going to strengthen this edge, it's going to sharpen it, and it's going to strengthen it, so it will be able to maintain it even longer. And we'll go with that 600 again. Not a whole lot of pressure, because the razor's so thin it will actually bend if you put too much pressure. Just enough to make the paper touch it really is all you need. check this out. That's our 1200, and here comes our 2000. Give this one more little crank, it's starting to get loose. And we've got the 2000 on here now. Final polish. And you can really just see that thing start to shine up. That is very nice. So let's take this thing out. Let's take a look at what we did. I can see that secondary bevel down here. Secondary bevel makes all the difference in the world when it comes to this stuff. So we'll take our thread. Right, like that. And we got one. So this was new. New it was 6. Here's 2. We'll start going halves. 2.5, 3, 3.5. So we're at 4. So we shaved 2 ounces off of the sharpness of this just by adding that secondary bevel to it. That really just shows you how much that thing is important. It adds strength. It actually increases the strength of the edge and allows you to sharpen it. We're back to this right here. When we started, we just had a single edge, and we put this double edge on here, that secondary cut, and that just makes all the difference in the world. If you could sharpen a razor blade to that point using common household sandpaper, it's the technique, it's not the tools involved. It's being able to have those angles and have them set, and having a good abrasive and making sure your back cut is on there, which you don't have to worry about with the razor blade because it's already cut super thin, and then just knowing about where to put that extra angle at. So for more information, go to www.triccountylocksmithservice.com. Thank you.